good Friday. We're hoping you had a phenomenal week. And want to welcome you to today's show. This is Convo, a place where we discuss matters that are important to us as people. And we hope that the conversation will go on and enrich you and empower you even to start those things that you've always wanted. So karibuni sana. It's a good Friday for us, and I hope you guys are still having a good Friday. It's a weekend. Some people are enjoying. The curfew is, been extended, so I believe some of you are really happy about it, and we want to welcome you. So today we've lined up a nice conversation for you, and I'm joined here with my co-host Daktari mwenyewe and you're so excited to come to you today. Daktari, how are you?
I'm fine, James. How are you?
Very well.
How has been your week?
My week has been great. A lot of things. We've been learning a stretched week. And today is Friday. It's a weekend.
Yeah. It's a weekend.
Yes. How are you? How is your week?
My week has been quite busy.
Yes.
I'm glad that it's over and I can get time to rest after this show.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to getting some good sleep after this. Yeah.
I know your week has been busy.
Yeah,
I can actually see your eyes. They are actually betraying you.
Oh no.
Yes. But it's good. It's good to see you after I know you've been. I know how your schedule has been this week.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to looking forward to the conversation today.
Me too, James.
Yes. Wow. So today we are discussing, we've not really moved away from what we've been sharing. Remember we started talking about fear. We came and started talking about vulnerability. We spoke about, perfection and shame.
Yeah.
But today we really don't want to skew away from those three topics we've discussed.
Yeah.
But we want to take a little bit of an angle to it. We're going to talk about shame. We're going to talk about teenagers. We're going to talk about parents and how they deal with teens.
Yeah.
I know at some point we were teenagers, and I know how crucial that age group is.
Yeah.
And if it's not well, as a parent, you don't really understand what's happening. Sometimes you can lose your children, you can lose your kids, but we want you to be able to support your teenagers. So we're going to talk about shame and what it does if it's not well managed. Funny enough, Frida, we're talking about all these kind of feelings. Talk about shame. Sometimes we tend to, talk it in a negative connotation. But basically, I was reading an article by John Bradshaw, and was talking about shame. Somehow it's not really that bad as we want to put it. It's kind of help us to be a little bit humble and modest.
Okay.
So, and it's the same thing like we were talking about fear.
Yeah.
It's not generally something bad. It's only that we need to know the limits and when it's limiting us. Fear can limit us from pursuing, our goals.
Yeah.
Fear can prevent us from maybe, talking to our friends, talking to our parents. Fear can prevent us from maybe talking even to our bosses about some issues. That kind of fear keep us. Even the shame. Shame somehow is the one that you just don't go there doing all that minor kind of behaviors.
Yes.
Kind of checks you up.
Yes.
But then still, we need to know its boundaries. And when actually it's not empowering us, it's disempowering us. Yes. So I'm looking forward to the excitement. We want to, still inviting you guys. Send in your comments. Tell us where you're watching us from. Tell your friend. Let your friend know that we are live and we came in late. We really apologize. We had some technical issues, and we look forward to enjoying the show together. And we believe the conversation we're gonna have will actually matter to you. So Frida.
Yes, James.
That week, Any news? I know you've been busy. I know what you've been doing, but there's something that has, actually has been happening, and this is, talk about business.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've noted that one of the major retailing outlets kind of closing down or is not doing so well. Taskis. I'm talking this because the branch just at our place has been closed down. It was being auctioned.
Oh no.
And I started thinking about business and why it's been a huge, outlet, kind of commanding a big share in Kenya. And the same story that happened to Nakumatt, if you remember Nakumatt, a very big outlet, something happened. And then still now we've had others. We had an outlet called Choppies, and then we had another outlet called Ukwala.
Yes.
Even another outlet called ShopRite's having still some challenges running the business. But then now we have one of a local brand, Tuskys, kind of really closing down, and it's really painful. And that got me thinking, what is not happening in the, in that sector? But then I was quick, following up the story. There's something we call, corporate governance, where Tuskys is a family-owned business. And so over time, they've been having some challenges running their affairs, family, language, and all that stuff. And so this has come to affect the business. And, corporate governance, business.
Yeah.
Frida, I know one day you plan business and maybe family business.
Yeah, of course.
It's good to separate family and what, business. Business is business.
Yes.
So if you bring, family kind of, issues, basically you're sure that the business will, drop or will collapse or something like that. And that's what is happening to Tuskys, and it's so painful.
How sad.
So painful to have that outlet not able to, pay its suppliers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really painful. I hope those guys can really understand what it means to, learn a business.
Yeah.
Yes, other than bringing the family kind of stuff into the business. So that's what I've been thinking about this week.
Okay.
I had another story, but I'll share as we go on the line.
All right.
Because it touches what we're going to be discussing today.
Okay.
Yes. So that was that, Frida. Now we go to our conversation.
Yeah, sure. Let's get to it. James,
Yes.
actually, we should mention that today, earlier in the day today,
Yes.
one of our pastors, Pastor Lucy Mutiso,
Yes.
did a very nice broadcast
Yes,
on
yes,
teenagers
yes,
and the
yes,
smartphone.
yes,
I was really, I was watching the broadcast, and there were teenagers.
In the show, yeah?
There was one young adult.
Yes.
And a teenager and a preteen, and they were speaking about how smartphones have become an addiction these days.
Yes, yes.
How they have been able to stay out of the addiction, and I was so blessed.
Yes.
I was so blessed by that session.
Okay.
And if you would like to watch that session, my viewer,
Yes.
you can watch it on our pages, Dr. Frida Wachira and James Wetu.
Yes. Actually, I've shared on the description this live show.
All right.
Description.
Yeah.
I've shared the link there. I catched up a little bit. I was busy, so I didn't catch the entire thing, but I know what was happening.
Yes.
I had one of the teen explain to me what is actually who made me watch, because he was trying to tell me exactly what was happening. And it's a leech conversation. That bit I listened is leech.
Yes.
So I thought maybe because what you're talking about is more like teens, that conversation could also be, helpful and
Yeah, it's very
something to
helpful.
look up to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. So this week I shared with you a story
Yeah.
that could form the backbone for today's conversation.
Yeah. A
And,
very sad story.
Yes, a very sad story
Yes.
of a lady. It's a 15-year-old lady who committed suicide.
Yeah.
And also on the link, I've shared her, the link to the website that her mom, came up with.
Yes.
And it's a very sad story. And, Frida, when I was reading about this story,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me what has been happening around. I don't know whether you can remember some time back, there's something that there's a hashtag that was going around. Ifikie wazazi.
Ifikie wazazi.
Yes.
Yes.
So I couldn't really help but think about what was happening.
Yeah.
And so today, when I was reading this story, maybe we can tell our viewer, and I know you're going to go to the link and maybe share that story. Her name is called Amada Todd, and Amada Todd committed suicide.
Yeah.
She's 15. She created a
Sadly,
video,
yeah.
the video on the homepage,
Yeah.
She created a video, then committed suicide.
Yeah.
And her story is very, I wouldn't say unique, because I know there's so many other people who have gone through the same thing.
Yes.
So that this story has come out and the parents have come out and share the story. But it got like this, Frida. She's 15-year-old, and she happened to join a site.
Yes.
A webcam site. This is more like joining Instagram currently. This is sometime back, like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's more like Instagram or something. But then you remember sometime back when the phones were not really common. Every sidebar you'd go, there was a webcam. A webcam.
I know a webcam.
So every computer would have a webcam, and this is the webcam that you use to communicate to.
Yeah.
So, but then the most popular site was Skype.
Yeah.
But then there were some other sites where you could join in. Nowadays we have the Facebook, the most popular now. You could join in into that site, and then you could start chatting with the people who are still on video. And so on a normal day, she meets a stranger, and they start talking.
Yeah.
And the stranger is friendly.
Yeah.
And they start talking. But at some point, the other, the stranger makes some demands, or not really a demand, but because they are communicating and they look friendly, and then she convinces her to send her topless photos of her topless photos, to say,
Yeah.
and she did so innocently without knowing the consequence, what will happen after that. And it went on and on and on, until some point when she felt that the person is so persistent and wanted to drop that relationship. But the guy was so insisting that he continued doing so. And what happens is that she threatens her. If you don't send me more, I'm gonna put your pictures
out
public.
there.
It's gonna be over the internet. Now the guy had actually done a lot of research and even known where the girl goes to school, her hometown, even her house.
Yes.
And she, when the Amanda dropped from this site, this webcam site,
Yes.
the guy now is trolling her on Facebook.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
And she's still insisting that, send me photos and all that. So the story continues, and one day the police comes to Amanda's house and they tell her, your pictures are all over.
Yeah.
Her pictures of her topless. And it was very sad. If you read the story of Amanda, she actually, left town. She couldn't talk to anyone, she couldn't eat, and then she started abusing drugs.
Yeah.
Very sad, very sad.
Yeah.
And the story goes on and on, until to a point where everyone was now against her. But Amanda could not tell anyone, and that's why we want to, bring in the story. The story goes until Amanda kills herself.
Yeah.
She makes a video. She tells every story.
Yes.
You saw the video.
I saw the video. It's a very sad one.
Very sad.
Very
And she
sad.
tells exactly what happened.
Yes.
And then she commits suicide.
Oh no.
And though her mother comes back and now want to, tell people what happened and encourage other people, other children, other teenagers, when they encounter such kind of bullying online, they can be able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So just to cut the story short,
Yeah.
Frida,
Yeah.
and that's what to tie our story today, is that sometimes teenagers they're curious. They go out there, try new stuff and all things, but then they make some mistakes, and then they are ashamed of what they did.
Yes.
And the tragedy is that they don't tell anyone what they did,
Yes.
and so they keep quiet. If they're hurting, they continue hurting without telling someone. It reminds me about what we said last time about shame. That shame loves silence.
Yeah.
It doesn't want you to speak. It wants to put you in a box. It doesn't want you to say anything. Want you to be silent.
Yeah.
And so Amanda is here. She cannot tell her mom, she can't tell her teachers, she can't tell her dad about this bully online. And so what ends up, she commits suicide.
Yeah.
And so Frida, that's why I want us to really demystify this thing about shame
Yeah.
and how we can make maybe our families, our homes a better place where we are not ashamed, let's say, to speak what you're going through.
Yeah, I think maybe James, just to remind our viewers that last time we said that one of the ways to deal with shame
Yes.
is to speak about it.
Yes.
Shame cannot stand being spoken about.
Yes.
You need to learn how to, like speak it out. Once you speak it out, and you speak it out with people who have empathy. And I know that will take us to the point about parents being friends to their children.
Yeah, sure.
But if you speak about shame, you basically defeat shame. And
Yes,
shame is
yes.
it's an entire family of emotions,
Yes.
ranging from humiliation, embarrassment, guilt, shyness, all those other things. Mortification.
Yes.
So shame is a family of emotions. So I think especially for teenagers,
Yes.
and these days that we have smartphones, these days that we are online,
Yes.
teenagers are creating more friends online
Yes.
than they are creating in real life. Okay, not just teenagers.
Yes.
I find it almost with everyone, even adults.
Yes.
Like you would be in a family meeting and you're texting someone.
Yes.
You're actually in a family gathering.
Yes.
You're surrounded by your grandparents, your
Yes.
parents,
Yes.
but you're speaking to someone out there. Sometimes I also have to remind myself, especially when I'm when I'm speaking to you, I have
Yes.
to remind myself, James is here now,
Yes.
in real time. So I'll put my phone away and
Yes.
talk to him now that he's here
Now.
physically.
Sure.
So I put my phone away, speak to James who is here with me,
Yes.
and then the other person I can catch up with later,
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes.
So speaking with people you can't see, you can't really communicate empathy entirely online.
Sure,
you see,
sure.
you can't experience, you can't feel that other person is empathetic to you when
Yes.
you're online.
Yes, yes.
So in this age, in this day and age of technology,
Yes.
so when teenagers go do things online, and then when you're online, you see a lot of what your friends are doing,
Yes,
and nobody
yes.
posts the things they are ashamed of online.
Sure. No one posts.
No one will post.
No
If
one
I'm
will
ashamed
post,
of
yes.
a picture, maybe,
Yes.
or a certain, maybe say outfit, I will
Yes,
not post
yes,
it online.
yes,
So
yes.
nobody posts what they are ashamed of online. So teenagers are also under pressure to live up to the expectations that are
Yes.
even so difficult to live up to. I will post up my picture on IG,
Yes.
and I have filters.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And then someone else will try, to look for things to make them look
like that.
like that in real life.
Yes.
So there's a lot of pressure from everywhere. So I think that's why we need to speak to parents and also
Yes.
speak to teenagers about this aspect of shame,
Yes.
and knowing that you need to live your life that moment. That's why I'm saying sometimes I will be on my phone texting
Yes.
someone, but
Yes.
then James is here with
Yes.
me,
Yes.
and he's speaking to me. So sometimes I have to remind myself, Frida,
Yes.
put your phone away.
Yes.
Speak to James who is here right now.
Yes, sure.
He's here physically,
Yes. Yes.
and now if I'm able to speak to you,
Yes.
I can even facial expressions and gestures and body movement is very important. It even communicates a lot of emotion.
Yes,
When
yes.
you're texting someone, you're not even able to know the tone. It's very easy to misunderstand.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
even able to tell the tone of
Yes.
that person's
Yes.
messages.
Yes.
So if you're here and I'm speaking to you, I can even know that you're empathetic. I can tell that you understand.
Yes,
You really
yes,
understand
yes,
what I
yes.
mean,
Yes, yeah.
what I'm going through. So speaking about shame is very
is key.
important.
I told you about a story I was following up this week. Maybe it has come. You've come across the story. It's about this lady who comes out and says, "I've infected quite a number of men with HIV."
HIV.
I think I don't know. I at some point I think it's 1 month ago, around 2 months.
Yeah.
Someone told me, but I didn't really pay attention because it's really doesn't make sense. But somehow this week I bumped into her story. Yes, and I was listening to her, and I want to bring an aspect of shame. There's one question the interviewer asked her.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to come out and tell us, the public, the people, that you are HIV positive, that you've infected quite a number of men? All this. What are you trying to achieve by this?
Yes.
There's something she said, and this is something that echoed the exact thing we were discussing about shame.
Yeah.
That shame hates when you speak
Yes,
about
that
it.
is true.
And you know what she says? One of the things that make me speak is because sometimes, with me and my friend tunakosana, and you know what my friends say? Kwenda huko, wewe unaabukiza other men with HIV and all that stuff. They really would, feel broken. It's painful.
It's very
when
painful.
a friend, refer, we know you're HIV, you're infecting people with it. Kwenda huko. It's very painful.
Yeah.
But you know what? She chooses to speak because if anyone come and tell her that, it won't be news any longer. Why? I chose to speak.
Yeah, it's not news.
It's no longer news. It's no longer. It won't break me because I've spoken about it. So what are you telling me? Everyone knows. You didn't know what? You get that the point.
Yes, I get the
that
point.
way you never be ashamed about what the thing that you've done. You're feeling bad about it, and when you speak, it goes. It's that thing will not haunt you any longer.
Yeah, James. Now, I think I want to get to this point very quickly because I think growing up, I keep telling my mom, hey, being a teenager was hard. I keep telling her that.
So. Yes.
So now that you've talked about speaking out,
yes,
we need to speak out. If you're going through shame, you need to speak it out.
Speak out and
Yeah, and last time we said that you don't just speak to anyone.
Oh yeah.
Someone has to earn the right to hear your story.
Someone has to
earn the right
to hear your story. It's an honor, even if it's a bad story.
Yes,
I know.
it's
And
an
you know
honor.
what, Frida? You don't need 5-10 people.
No.
You just need 1 or 2 people who
yeah.
you can disclose, tell her, by the I'm going through this, I did this mistake, it's bad.
Yes.
Just listen. Yes, you are saying something.
Yes, so when I think about it and when I think about my teenage years back then, when I think about speaking about shame, I think about the best person to speak about, especially for a teenager, is your parent. Because there is nobody else who has your best interest at that particular time, apart from your parents. Like I know, like growing up, I know even if my mom punished me, she still wants the best for me.
For you.
You get? Other than the stranger out there I have been texting, whom I've probably never even met. So that person might be wishing me well, but they probably don't have my best interest at heart. So now for the parents, I think we need to tell the parents that you need to make life easier for your kids. Because I think I was reading one of your blogs today, and you're talking about how you were watching Nella climb things when she was just 2, and you felt like it wasn't safe. You wanted to her to stop
her,
you wanted to keep her secure, but then you realized you just need to monitor her and let her explore. So parents,
and explain.
And you keep explaining to her, so for parents, I think you need to create a safe environment for your children.
Very key.
I have always believed that home is not a place for impressions. Home is a place for expressions. Home is where you express yourself. Right? So I can go out, I want to go out and be brave. I will be brave outside, but when I come home, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be vulnerable with my mom. I want to be vulnerable with my dad. I want to be able to tell them, today at school, I felt embarrassed. This and this happened. I felt so ashamed. I don't feel like I can go to that school anymore. I felt this happened in class. I felt humiliated. I need to be able to tell that to my parents. But when parents are strict, you don't even know where to begin.
That's true.
You would not know where to begin.
All Frida, I think maybe we need to emphasize that, when you're home as a parent, you need to create an environment in your house where we feel vulnerable and we won't feel judged.
Exactly.
I can go and make a mistake there, but if I come home, I can tell my mom what happened. For example, I was trying to look at, I don't know, the Amanda's parents and all that stuff and what they were doing, because at some point, the lady, she's bullied and she happened to go and hide herself in a ditch, and it's her dad who came and picked her. So she has not talked about her relationship with the parent, but it's something that I noted, or that Amanda was going all through this, but she couldn't tell her mom or even her dad that there's someone who is bullying her. Or she made a mistake that she sent her topless picture to someone, and now this person is bullying her and following her, demanding to put on a show for him. And this guy, by the way, it's not within the same, it's actually in Netherlands, and you're talking about someone in USA. So it's a person who is very far away.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, why was Amanda not able to communicate, tell the parent what they're going through?
Yeah.
I wish now we can allow our children to make the mistake, but find it easy to come and share with us.
Yeah.
That, Mom, by the way, I made a mistake. I sent this photo to someone, and now this, look at this, what's happening. Because you be listened to, you get help, you know, and you walk over it. But now when you keep silent at all, and the reason why maybe this we need to talk to the parent is, why would your teenager keep quiet when he could make a mistake out there?
Sure.
Or he notices something that's happened but keeps quiet. You know, Frida, I've been wondering why. You know, it's lately, I think I got news of, you know, young men committing suicide. Very young, class 8, form 4, form 2, committing suicide. I'm wondering why, which information that this person have that he commits suicide. You know, it's kind of baffles you, and you're wondering what happened to this young man.
Yeah.
But he committed suicide.
Yeah.
The thing is, that man, that young person, did something that he was ashamed of, and was being afraid, like Amanda, what will people say about me?
Yes.
My mom is a respectable person. If they notice what I'm doing, they disrespect her. Get, like now, so even her stories is writing, no one loves me.
Yeah.
No one wanted to be with me, you know.
Yeah.
And how they will judge me? How will they look at me when they see my photos?
Yeah.
So Amanda did not want to go through all this shame.
Yeah.
And what she does, she commits suicide. It's very suicide. Okay, it's a very sad story.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wish she could have spoken out
Spoken
and
out.
she could have got help.
Yeah.
So her mom actually, the reason why she set up that website is to help other teenagers who are going through such a kind of experiences to be able to talk to someone. Just create that environment where I've done a mistake, I've done this, I'm being bullied, I can come openly and talk to someone. That thing goes.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
But I think, I don't know if it's African parents or it's like all the parents everywhere.
Yes.
I don't know if this is common to everyone. It's so hard to talk to them.
Really?
It's for some, maybe some people growing up, they could talk to their parents easily, you know, but for most of us, like if you did a mistake and you want to go approach your mom, say, or dad, especially dads.
Yes.
If you did a mistake and you want to go approach them, you have all, before you get there, you have all these, you know, you have had the conversation in your head first, how it's going to go. You even replay the conversation in your head over and over before you get to them. But I think we need to keep encouraging parents. You know, your past experiences as a parent you should not project those experiences to your kids. You should not let them, you know, because you went through that particular thing doesn't mean they have to go through it the way you went through it. You went through it alone. They should actually be able to go through it with you.
Yes.
You know?
Sure.
Like, be there for them.
Be there for them.
Be a friend to your teenagers. Like, they don't just be a parent.
Yes, be a friend.
Be a friend.
That's
be someone
strong.
they can approach. Be someone they can, you know, when I make a mistake, the first person I want to call is called Lucy Munge. And, you know, sometimes she will even tell me, just tell me what happened. And I will tell her everything, even the things I know I did. This was wrong. I know this was wrong, but I did it.
Yes.
But I feel like I can talk to her because I feel like she understands. I feel like she's my friend, you know, but she's also my parent. I feel like she's my friend. She understands, you see?
Yes.
So when I talk to her, my life becomes easier. I am no longer walking in shame because she tells me, sometimes she tells me, that was necessary. Sometimes she tells me, you should have known better, but you didn't. So forgive yourself. Let's move on to the next stage. You see? So every teenager needs a parent like that. Every teenager needs a parent they can talk to.
Yes.
When they make a mistake, they don't need to think my dad is going to kill me. They need to think I need to go talk to my dad. I made this mistake, but I need to go talk to my dad or talk to my mom.
Sure.
So for parents, I think we need to reach out. We are in now that we are in this era of technology.
Yes, sure.
You should don't let your kids, when they make mistake, don't just let them speak to other people, because that is what they do. When you make a mistake, you want to reach out. You know, you want to feel like someone understands. So if they cannot find a friend at home, they will find a friend elsewhere.
To speak. And it may not be so safe.
It may not be safe, and it is not safe, especially for teenagers. You know, and Facebook and all those things. You know.
So the idea is here, let's create an environment in the house where our children, our teenagers, can freely express themselves, even if they feel ashamed about it. They can openly talk about it.
It's very important.
So Frida, our time is really gone. I think time's run so fast. But I want to just, as a parting shot, two things, and maybe one thing that I have two things that I want to. It's a statement that I got, and I really want to, read, and maybe could help a parent who is watching. And saying parents unknowingly project their fears, insecurities, and past experiences on their children. And so what they do, they suppress this idea of expressing yourself, so the kids will never want to. This can create what we call an emotional distance between parent and children. So that distance basically is what will make this teen not be able to. And I think, for example, I'm raising a daughter, and I'm very sure she's growing up with a TV and some other thing that I personally did not grow up with them. Quite a number of things. And I should be very careful not to project, my fears, those I was brought about, being brought up with the insecurities, which were so many, onto her. I have to be able to balance that. Okay, she is growing up in a different age than I was growing up, and I just need to learn how to bring her up, other than projecting my fears onto her. Otherwise, like everything stop, you can go out, you can do this, you can do this, get it? Because I'm projecting all this to her, but I need to mold her to understand. Yes. So it says children who feel ashamed, embarrassed, scared, intimidated, do not feel they have a place to talk about their feelings openly. Can I read that again? I think it's children who feel ashamed, embarrassed, scared, intimidated, do not feel they have a place to talk about their feelings openly. And I believe as a parent, you don't want to do that. You want your children to feel listened to, and they want to express their feelings openly. You're helping them. It's just an age. It's a group. It's a few years, and they transition. And you know what? They'll thank you for that. Yes.
True.
So two things, Frida. It's one thing when a teenager comes talking to you about something. There are two things. One, it's important that you listen to them and validate their concern. For example, they come and tell you someone hit me or someone called me a name. Validate that by telling them maybe it's actually very bad for someone to call you a name. Validate their emotions so they can trust their emotions too. They need to trust their emotions.
They need to learn how to trust their emotions.
Then after that, maybe you need to empathize with them. And you know what empathize means? Empathize is like, I at some point did counseling skills and all that stuff. I think because of human development something. And what the teacher told us is like getting into someone's shoe, feeling how that someone feels there, although you don't want to stay there. So if someone comes and tells them, call me a name, actually empathize with that someone. Someone called you a name? Yes, it's very bad for someone to call you a name. It actually feels bad to be called, for example, a name. It feels so bad. You're empathizing with that person. When your children learn that you're able to do that, they feel safe. They feel safe to open up and maybe talk to you about it. The thing that they are ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because those things are the things that are keeping us, our children, they're keeping away our children from us.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So
my parting shots, James.
yes.
One thing I have come to realize is that the things that I learned from my parents, I'm very grateful to my parents, by the way.
Yes.
Because I think as a teenager, we want to learn and know so many things. I'm not a teenager myself, I passed that, but teenagers like to explore. I think we talked about that in our first broadcast. They like to explore. But the things your teenagers is exploring, let them learn them from you as a parent. Like if a teenager wants to find out about dating, let them learn it from their parents, other than going to Google out there, asking around from their peers and all that. So if they are learning those things, let them learn from their parents.
Oh yeah.
You know, speak to your child. Speak to your child about these things they are curious about. You know, don't allow them to just go out there and learn those things from other sites and you know, Google and all that. So it's very important. And then for teenagers, don't shut out your parents. You know, we are talking to parents on. We also need to tell the teenagers, don't shut them out. Don't push them away. You know, because that distance is not a good thing. That emotional distance, especially, it's not a good thing. The last thing I would say today is there's a verse that says, "Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will never depart from it." You have no moral authority to correct someone you have not trained. I learned that from the Life of God broadcast.
You have no moral authority to collect someone you have not trained. Wow, that's
so
strong.
If you have not told your child that what do you punish Nera for? Mostly say dropping your phone, anashika simu hivi anarusha. If you have not told her that is wrong, you have no moral authority to beat her when she does that. You need to first explain to her, this is a phone, this is very expensive, Nela, this is an expensive phone, you don't throw away daddy's phone. Daddy's phone is very important. You know, when you explain it to her, the next time she does that, now you can punish her
for doing that.
So before a parent punishes a child, they need to first train them. Train them. You know, sit down with them, talk about smartphones, for example. That's what the broadcast earlier today was about. Tell them the dangers, the advantages. Tell them the boundaries. Set boundaries for them. You know, speak to them about those things. Don't let them go find out about these things from elsewhere. Like be their first teacher. Be their first teacher. So that's my parting shot for today, James.
Amazing, great. So I can see Ajra, it's online. Thank you so much, Ajra, for watching. I can see Bollies is watching. Appreciated, and quite a number of guys who are watching.
Yeah, I have a lot of them. I see even Maxwell Waziri.
Wow.
He's learning. Wow, Felix, I see you. Dennis M. Morioki. Felix is saying, actually, it's not just teenagers. Everyone needs someone they can open up to without feeling judged. Everyone. Yeah, that is true. Then Liz Getari is also online. I see all your comments. We are seeing all your comments. We appreciate. We want to know what you think about this topic. This is a conversation. So we would also want you to be involved. Then there is someone called Esther Kamau. Joy Murage says, wow. Kennedy Eversmart says, James and Frida, you're doing a great work following from Nyeri County.
Wow, thank you, Kevin. Kevin, you are bringing him here.
Kennedy.
Yes, talk about money.
Ah, awesome. I can't wait.
And insurance things.
I can't wait.
So prepare yourself, Ken.
Then Prasinada Farm tuned in. Wow. Then Lucy Munge.
Wow. You just mentioned her.
Yeah, I just mentioned her in the show. She's saying she's tuned in and following. Thank you so much for following.
Thank you. Yes, we appreciate.
We appreciate. We
really
appreciate.
Your comments, your feedback, man, we really appreciate.
Yeah.
Kindly send us a text, a comment, tell us where we can improve. You know, we would really love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So I want to read a scripture just before we wind up. It's James 5:16, and I know you know this scripture.
The book of James.
Yes, I had to.
You just had to.
You
couldn't help yourself.
Yes. James 5:16 says, therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. So let's confess to each other.
Yeah.
Let's not be ashamed.
Yeah.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Yes. Speak it out, you'll be healed.
Yeah.
Frida, we
We have to
end this.
But I have to say this, James.
Yes.
I'm trying not to laugh out loudly because Maxwell is online and he's saying it's not good at all for our teenagers to learn from Uncle Google. I had some teenagers searching on Google on how to give birth. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay.
Maxwell.
So, but my point is,
yes.
But what happens when they ask their parents about that?
That's a conversation of
another day.
So we want to put a pause there, and we will continue the conversation some other time. Remember, when your kids come telling you something, don't, like be the no person. Validate their emotions and empathize with them. Then from there, collect and teach about it. So it's been good to have you guys. We appreciate you. We want to appreciate Dulosa Media for guys who are behind the cameras and the entire crew doing all this wonderful work. Want to appreciate them for this good work. And by the way, if you want to create some content for your events, want to go live on your event, maybe on Facebook or YouTube, Dulosa got your back. They'll come and create for you a nice show.
They're nice,
everything.
Nice
Yes,
people.
yes. So if you really want to, get your event live on YouTube, on Facebook, or where you want it to be, write to us, comment, and we'll link you up. They're doing an amazing job, and you want to try them. So Frida, and by the way, before you go, amazing. Frida, you've been celebrating your birthday.
You just had to bring that up, James.
Yeah, you have been celebrating your birthday.
Yeah.
Will you tell us no, don't tell us how many candles you're blowing.
It is rude to ask a lady her age, James.
Yes, that's why I reflected that. So I don't want to do it, but want to, to know we really appreciate you very much.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God. Is this why James was this silent?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, dear Frida. To you. To you, happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday, dear Frida. To you, happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday, dear Frida. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frida. Kata keki
Kata keki kata sio ugali. Kata keki chukua ugali. To you. Nice. Wow. So thanks so much, guys. We love you guys. Yes, those are we love you, Frida. We